Alright, so we're going to take a look here at building some Immortals from 25. So these are troopers. They got a couple of notes here, like put the gun arms, like the gun on the body, and then the other arm after you got the gun on. Okay. And they also talked about the legs. They actually said, like, go ahead and glue the legs on, which makes sense. And then put the body onto the legs, and you can put any body on any leg because they're Necrons, and it's kind of how they go together. So I did that, and here are 4 of the legs. They're all getting some, I like Gorilla Super Glue. The gel's really nice. So they're getting glued on there so that we could, after we paint them, we can pop them off and then do the bases after the body's painted. So I left one guy here just to kind of go over it real quick. Pretty easy, pretty simple, just like any Necron. You got these little spindly legs, and you just gotta kind of scribe down that mold line you got there. There's a little connection pin there. Just kind of scrape it off a little bit so it doesn't give you any problems when you're trying to glue the body on. And then pretty much everything else is just for that nice clean aesthetic. And this plastic's nice and soft again, of course. Just working on the calf and then a little bit on the inside of the leg. And this one, about like the last couple, there's just a little mold line in there. And then I like to go over just a quick little sanding, really try to get it nice and smooth, because these guys, the Immortals, are actually a little more put together than the Warriors. Those guys have been reanimated so many times. You got stuff hanging off everywhere. But the Immortals don't look quite as bad. They don't have things hanging off of them. So spend a little bit more time with them, I guess, to get them looking shiny new metal, kind of. You see, like, I mean, you can see it's like brain case there, and there's some little things sticking out. But these guys, they got dents and chunks taken out of them. These guys are pretty clean, So I want to take a little extra time with them. Get them cleaned up, really nice. Like I said, I like the gel, just a little squeeze. A little excess there. Again, like Gorilla Glue doesn't send me Gorilla Glue to use in these videos. So, take it for what it's worth. It's what I use. This is how I do it. Your mileage may vary. So, now we got 5 legs. Waiting for 5 bodies. Catch you back in a second here. Gonna put probably one completely together and then come back and step through another, so that if I find any gotchas, like the guns, I guess. I mean, they really only have instructions for this gun. I don't even know. There's 3 guns on here. That's the one they give you instructions for. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then there's also this like round canister kind of gun. 2 there, 1, 2, 3 here, and then all of a sudden there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these guns. They're like sniper rifles or something. I have no idea where those came from, but they only show like putting these together, which I just had the book. Grab it again, because there are 2 options only for Necron Immortals. So I don't know who those other guns are for. There's one gun out there that, yeah, it's Gauss Blaster and Tesla Carbine. So, I mean, is this the Gauss Blaster, or is that the Gauss Blaster? And this the Tesla Carbine. Is this the Tesla Carbine? And that's the Gauss Blaster. Who knows? But yeah, that's the only thing for Immortals. So I don't know. Like, does the box... So I don't really see... Oh, I wonder... Well, those are the chests. There's some chests, and these are the backs. Well, are those... These the Immortal backs? Oh, is that what that is? And this is the death mark? No? No? Looks like it could be. Yeah, maybe these are death marks also. And that's the Synaptic Disintegrator. Okay. So that answered that question. Those are death mark back plates. Yeah, there's a death mark back plate. And these are Immortal back plates. So now, of course, the only question I have is like which gun is which, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to put them together like the instructions say, because I don't play that picky, you know. I can call them whatever I want. I paid for them. So, yeah, I'm going to put one together and come back and put one together. Put one together. I love English. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Alright, so kind of midstream with this guy. I got 1A all put together. Pretty basic, simple Necron kind of stuff. Not really much to say. About the only thing, shoulders are pretty rough. I don't know if I just trimmed too much or what, but they're pretty rough. I used glue and sanded and then glued it over and then sanded it down again. I think it'll be all right. But I don't have any model putty crack filler stuff. I think I've got some old green stuff, but I hate using that stuff. I think the last tube of putty I had, I just threw away because it got so watery. But not bad. The one thing I did is like when I glued, you gotta watch when you glue the gun arm. They actually tell you about this. Glue the gun arm on and have I think they'll all be like right arm holding the gun, left arm coming up here. Have that left arm ready to go. Basically, I stuck this thing on, let it set for a second, then glued this other one on, ready to kind of push these together, because like the gun's probably not going to be where you want it for this other arm. So make sure that you don't glue the right arm in and like let it sit there for an hour, because then, you know, the arm's going to come up short. And even there, it's a little, I don't know if you can tell. Woo! But it's off. You know, it's not on perfect. But there is at least a little bit of a glue point, so there's some stability there. I also pushed it up against the leg. Woo! There we go. I pushed it up against the leg and glued it to the leg too. Now, you might not want to do that because you're an amazing painter, but I am not an amazing painter, and I don't really care if this is up against his leg. It's going to be pretty silver and a little bit of green and then done. So those are really the only really gotchas I got. I got the next guy going here, 3, 21, and 10. The one thing, 3 is real easy to cut out and sand down. You're going to want to make sure that, because this whole back plate, it like sticks into the back, into his back, and it supports the head a little bit. You're just going to want to make sure, because there's a connecting point here that you're going to snip. Just make sure you get that sanded down and scribed down pretty good, because you're going to want it to push all the way up against the back. You don't want it kind of standing off. So that's the only real trick there. The other trick, and they mentioned this somewhere here, yeah, double clip. That, I think I've talked about that before with the terrain stuff, because the connectors are just so hard. But this is a little different, and I'll show you. See, I've still got little bits here sticking off both shoulders. And why and how I did that was because it's a very thin point. It's also a pretty important point on the model, because that's all you see of these guys are like the shoulders when you're looking down on the table. So we're going to want to have those shoulders looking good. Oh, look. Can you see? I had some Doritos. So, yeah, apologize for Dorito bag knuckles. There we go. That's a little better. So, usually what I'm telling you is to this, again, the little clipper has, like this open part and then the flat part. And usually, like 99% of the time, you're going to want to push that flat part right up against the actual piece that you're cutting out. But what I did here for the shoulders was I flipped it around and cut it like I told you not to. So that basically that gives a little bit left over here on the shoulder. And then you can come in and you'll be able to move that light a little bit. There we go. And you'll be able to come in a little closer, a little better, and snip a little bit off there. Snip a little off there. They say double clip. I'm doing a triple clip. How about that? So you got just a little bit. Yeah, clip that off a little bit. And you can come in here and it won't. Because when you do this, this puts a lot of pressure on the plastic, especially when it's thin and brittle like that. When you're trying to clip it off the sprue. See, now that looks very nice, actually. A lot better, because I didn't really see that. And so I just went in and just clipped the clip out of it. And so now, as you can see here, I've got a better looking shoulder. See if I can. Yeah. It's looking much better. Should be able to easily get that sanded down now. Okay. Yeah. A little better. Still not real happy. Is this thing focusing? Focus! But it looks better. My other one was pretty bad. This is still not, good. That's still quite a line. So I'll do like I usually do and get some glue and basically glue over these. Let it dry real well, and then come back and basically sand the glue down. And then do another coat of glue, do another sanding, and that should fill in those gaps as the plastic melts. And then you sand it down, and then it melts again, and you sand it down. You get, this is pretty, not bad. When you get the primer on there and some paint on there, it'll go away. That's really pretty much the whole problem here. So let me just slap some glue on this guy. A little dab there, a little dab here. Oh yeah, and this power cable broke. Whoa. In transit, I'm guessing. Let me show you. Probably you'll have this broke right there. Aside from just kind of getting a little bit of glue on there and hoping it glues up well, that's about all you can do. And these things are going to break in the mail like There we go. Hope that that kind of hides it. And like all Necrons, you're going to have to scribe down the waist here. Not the waist, the ribs. The wibs, not the waist. And, because they're always pretty bad. How about I do the one that's not got a piece trying to glue to it? Yeah, so, and as we found out in the previous video, these guys are, what, X mark destroyers too? Something like that. Guys with like big sniper rifles, same sprues. These have a different gun and a different head. And a different back, because the backs don't have the big cables on them. But otherwise than that, they're all the same. Like I said, this is going to be his left arm that comes around to hold the gun. So I'm going to get this guy cleaned up there. And get him ready to glue on just at the same time as I'm gluing on his right arm, holding onto the gun itself. There's a little bit of stuff stuck here. It's one of the points. Got a snip. And then these arms. Sometimes you get a really good mold line. Oh, there it is. It's kind of hard to find. So that arm is ready, and I got the gun glued up pretty much. It's just like every other Necron Gauss gun, and it's also got a little bit of a problem with the gapping there. So put a little extra glue on there when I first glued it up, and you can see it's that'll be gone now. You won't be able to see that. So yeah, so the gun's ready, the arm is ready. Yeah, it's glued in there now. Get the chest piece together. And also, like I said earlier, I've got 4 guys without bodies here. So the legs are all ready to go. So it's a lot easier. You don't have to mess with them. Should be able to get them thrown together pretty quickly. It's a good idea from the GW guys to do that. Alrighty. I got my gluing pieces ready here. Get this guy together, throw a paper clip on him, let him dry, and come back. I'm gonna make sure that those shoulders get a nice chunk of glue on them. I need to open up my other glue. It's starting to run out. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is just start off here. A little extra. Yeah, that looks a lot better than that first guy I made. So should have a much better outcome. Yeah, so the gun, pretty much make sure you sand down. Scribe off. It's like next step is to glue the gun on and get ready with the off arm, and then just set them on wherever you want them on there and glue it together. So I'll probably go ahead and get the other body going, and I'll see you in a minute. Alrighty, so we're back. This guy's glue's all nice and dried off. Like I said, I just do a little Sandpapering. Oh, yeah. That looks much better. And I'm not really looking for perfection, but I'm just saying that first guy I put together, there were gaps that were just unexcusable. But yeah, if you follow like what they said, actually, kind of comes out pretty well. So pretty happy. And you can see this guy's got, looks like it's broken in a couple places. So now the next is the tricky arm. So this is going to connect at the shoulder and along the cabling somewhere. And hopefully it won't look terrible. So, like I said, the trick is, and it doesn't look like it's going to look all that good. Cabling looks a little off. So that's flat. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of a little leftover. I guess for some reason they thought it'd be a good idea to put a connector point right at the tip. All right. Let's see if that helped. Yeah, a little bit. We'll just have to see. Like I said, so what we're going to do is glue the arm in, let it hold for a second, and his other arm is ready to go. Just got to slap some glue on there. So hopefully you don't hear any bad words coming out of my mouth, because it's not the easiest thing. So we'll slap some glue in there, slap some glue on there, slap some right there, and a little bit more right on the edge, right on the end of the cabling. Sorry about that, didn't see that, but just kind of glue everywhere you think it's gonna touch and pray. Okay, so there we are. Give it a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll just set that down. And then we'll get some glue there on the shoulder, the arm, and real gentle like in the socket, and then on the hand. And then right arm that's holding onto the gun should still be, kind of pliable, so that you should be able to, come on. There we go. All right. Perfect. And then just hold it. Yeah, it's looking good. Okay, so that means stop playing with it. Put it down. And let's get his head. They're all the same heads. It's not like the Warriors. Snip it off at the chin. And don't get the other guy. It looks more Necron-y. Doesn't have the single eye. That's those other guys that you can make with this that we could have made, I guess. Get some glue going here. Base of the head, and there's two places where the head connects into the body. The back of the head and the base of the head. So get glue going on both places. And just drop it in there. And there you have it. Yeah, that looks good. And then pick a body out. And just see, like, you can position them where cable doesn't touch, and if you can get him into a position where the cable touches his leg, that's just another point of glue to me. And I'll take it. I slap a little glue there. Throw a little glue down there. Put them on, then get them. There we go. I can feel that the cabling is against his leg. I'll let him glue for a second. Okay, so he's kind of in there now. And pick him up, and you can see it touches his leg just enough that I'm going to go ahead and kind of slide some glue down there. Just in hopes that there's plastic on plastic. There's like a little bit of extra glue point for him. So there's two of you guys. Not too bad. Doesn't take long. I already got, while one guy's driving, I already got the two main pieces of the next guy. So, and I know like any of these upper torsos can go on any of these legs. It doesn't matter. But you got to make sure that like this, yeah, the third guy I'm making is 32611. Those all, I don't know, I mean, maybe the chest pieces all really make a difference, but I know that when you get into like these pieces here and the arm, those have pretty much got to go together. You can't do this and stick it over here with this 20. It's got to go with 30. So just make sure that you're following across here, that fourth guy, the fifth guy. But then the legs, any leg, any head is going to do. So, and put them on your 32 mil base. And then you'll have 5 of these guys. So, let's see, where's the warrior? Here's my warrior. So you can see, yeah, they're much bigger, actually. I mean, not like no Marines and Primaris, but they're definitely bigger. So it's like dual those, I guess. So there you are. That's how you can get your Necron Immortals going. And this is with with one of the guns. Just make sure, yeah, it's either these or that one. This one or that one, because if you put those like big sniper looking rifles, that's a completely different unit. So don't use these if you're making Immortals. Can't remember who they were, but yeah, you got the picture. So yeah, it's 5 of those, and we're done. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and next up, terrain. Catch you out there. Bye.